This video will give an example of a working solution of Lab 2.08, the play guess my number function. So at the beginning you'll be given a replet that has a lot of unfinished functions. Notice how it just says pass, so you have to delete that and create a function that does what it says in the comments here. For example, this one prints a string inside of a box. The next one prints instructions for this game. The next one function gets a user guess. Then you can tell whether the user has guessed correctly based on the guess number and the secret number. Print higher or lower. If the user guessed wrong, you need to tell them whether the secret number is higher or lower than what they guessed. Then you'll print a message for the winner. Print a winner message depending on the number of guesses that it took them to win, or you can print a loser message. And these are the functions that you are going to be implementing here. Sorry, not this first part here. These functions here. And then the part that is under this line right here is the part that doesn't get changed, and this is the actual play guess my number function. So if I hit run and define everything, most of those functions up there don't do anything because they just say pass. And if I hit copy and press play guess my number, because those functions don't do anything right now, I hit enter and nothing happens. So once you implement those functions correctly, this will play a game of guess my number with you. So let's go over to another window where I've already implemented those functions and you can see how it works. So this is the code that's going to be run to play the game. Let's go through it really quickly to see what happens. It starts out by creating a variable called secret number, and it uses what's called a module that has random functions to create a rand int, a random integer between 1 and 100. We'll discuss how to use these in a later lesson. It creates a variable called has1, and it starts out as false because the person just began. They haven't won yet. Here's the max number of guesses you can take, 7. After that, you lose the game. Here's the number of guesses that you've made so far. Starts out at 0. I'm going to first start out by printing in a box, print in box, guess my number. Remember, this function does nothing at first because you have to implement it up here. So going back down, then I print the instructions for the game, and then we use a while loop. You might be familiar with this from Snap. This is a loop that just runs over and over and over again. And because it says true, this is going to run forever until it hits one of these lines that says break, and then it will stop the loop. Each time the loop runs, it's just going to increase the number of guesses by 1. It's going to get what the guessed number is by using the getUserGuess function, which is implemented by you up here. And then if the user has guessed correctly, it will set has1 equal to true and break out of this loop. So this loop is this part right here that's indented from the W in while. So this part right here is the loop. Once it breaks out, it will check to see if you have won. If has1, print the winner message, else print the loser message. What if you don't guess correctly? It will check to see if your number of guesses is already equal to the maximum number of guesses. And if it is, it will break, and then you will get the loser message. Otherwise, if you're not done yet, it will print a hint for you, print higher or lower, so that it can help you guess the right number. I'm going to click Run to define all my functions. I'm going to copy the name of this function and play the game. Notice how all the functions are working as they should be. Prints guess my number in a box, gives the instructions, asks me to guess a number. I'll just go through the game. The secret number is higher than 50, which is 75, lower than 75. How about 68, lower than 68? What about 62, lower than 62? What about 55? Higher than 55? How about 58? Higher than 58? What about 60? And it says I did not guess the secret number, and the secret number was 61. So this is how what your game should look like in the end, starting out with guess my number in a box, giving you the instructions, and then going back and forth asking the user for a number and giving a hint as to whether the secret number is higher or lower until they run out of guesses. And at that point you either print the loser message like I got in this case and tell what the secret number was, or the winner message which tells them how many guesses it took them to figure it out.